Hey everybody, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I'd like to talk about everything that goes into making a proof coin and why it's so much more expensive than the bullion coins. Now, I got interested in this topic when I picked up this beauty here. It's a reverse proof maple leaf. And the maple leaf itself has a lot of the texture on the leaf, so the mirror doesn't show as good as it does on the queen's face, so that's why I'm showing that side. So just as I'm going on, remember that this is the reverse one. I just want to show the proof quality. But when I'm talking about proof coins, the normal ones, the queen's face would be the frosted part and the background would be the mirrored finish. But the best analogy that I could come up with for the difference between the bullions and proofs is that bullion versus proof is kind of like Ford versus Ferrari. This is a lot more mass production along an assembly line, and this is more hand craftsmanship, attention to detail, all that. So I'm going to quickly go over the bullion side because it's it is quick. They get the blanks that come in, the blank silver, they clean that silver, they run it through the assembly line, they run it through the machines, it gets struck, it keeps going along, then they get punched out, then they get inspected, then they'll be put into tubes. It's just the regular, you've seen production of the mint, you've probably seen videos of that where it's just the coins going along and they're all dumped into the hopper and they go all over the place. So it's, they're making several hundred coins a minute, and the die is just striking at once, and then it just keeps going. Each coin, it's fed through. So it's a lot more, as I said, mass production. So that's why there's a lot more bullion coins. That's why they're cheaper, because cost of production isn't that much. It's a lot of the machines that are doing the work. You have some labor that goes into it with inspecting and a lot of the packaging, but it's fairly inexpensive compared to the proof coins in the production of these. Excuse me. So the proof coins, it actually, the slower process starts right with the blanks, because the blanks go through a lot more of a cleaning process to help with the longevity of the dyes that strike the coin. So they go through what's called acid pickling. So what that does is it helps to remove any of the metal oxides and any contaminants on the blank planchets, they're called, and it helps improve the surface quality of the coin. So it actually gets double pickled, and then there's a little bit more chemicals and then there's more of a cleaning process that goes to that. A lot more cleaning just goes into the blanks than here. And then instead of being sent on an assembly line and being struck once and then it just keeps going, these are hand placed onto the machine there, and then the die comes down and it strikes it, but it strikes it multiple times. The videos that I watched and some of the stuff that I read, it kept saying multiple times. I did see a video that gave a number, and the number was 6. So their reference, they went by the coin was struck 6 times, but it could be more. And then it's taken off and it has to be hand polished. And these ones here, they get polished by a machine. So again, it just runs smoothly like an assembly line. Once they're done being struck and punched out, then they go into the polishing machine, gets machine polished, and then they keep going on their way. Here, they need to be taken out and they need to be hand polished. So that's, again, more of the craftsmanship going into it, more of the, expertise that goes into each coin. And with the mass production line, they're only getting struck once, and it's a very high speed operation. So they're actually going, I believe they said 650 coins per minute are struck and made. Well, it's a lot less with this one, because they actually need special dies to make the proof coins, and they're individually hand polished, and then they have to go through a microscope, and they have to hand tweak everything. They have to chisel, they have to make everything's done by hand, nothing's done by machine. It's all, and then they have to polish it, and then once the die is made, it's only good for a certain amount of strikes. And they said that the proof dies, they only strike about 300 coins. And I wasn't sure if they meant that it produces 300 coins or it's only good for 300 strikes. Because remember, these are struck multiple times. So if they're good for 300 coins, then it's a lot more strikes. But if it's only good for 300 coins, then if you're going by the 6 strike motto, that's only 50 coins a day. Because after that, it needs to be taken off and repolished and retouched up and refinished. So I remember the stuff that I was watching said 300 coins a day. So I'm going to go with the 300 instead of the 50. So I think they mean they're adding in all of those multiple strikes into the coin. So they only produce 300 coins as a day, as opposed to the 600 coins, 650 coins that are produced a minute. So you can see that's a lot where the low mintage comes in, because it's a lot less coins that are being produced, and it's a lot longer to actually finish them, and the whole process is very labor intensive. You're paying for a lot of man hours to do the finishing and the polishing on it. You're paying for their expertise. So that all gets factored into the price of the coin. And after that, once it's properly polished and all that, they need to add the frosting. So what they do is they put tape over the freshly polished and mirrored finished coin. And what they do is they put tape over top of it, and then with a knife, they have to cut out on the regular proof coin. Like I said, it would be the queen's face. So they have to cut the tape all out around the queen's face. And then what they do is they have this solution, they sandblast it by hand to get that textured, that frosted texture on the coin. So you got to imagine that's a lot of painstaking, precision cutting that, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. And again, that goes into the cost of the coin. There's no frosting on here. There's no method like that. Just goes through the machine polisher and on its way. Here, this coin, it's treated with, it's handled so much more in the process of making it than this coin. So it's that's why they're so beautiful. Like it's worth it to, in the end, when you get this coin. It looks so nice, and then when you understand the process that goes into it, how much more hands-on and handcrafted this coin is to that, then it's you can see why the price is so expensive. So a lot of people ask if it's worth it to buy a proof coin. And it's personal preference. It's up to you. If you like the way it looks, like I said, I like these ones, this reverse maple leaf here. But if you like the way the proof ones look, go ahead and pick one up. I'm going to talk about the American Silver Eagle now. If you were to buy a proof American Silver Eagle, you'd be paying roughly double of a bullion Silver Eagle. So obviously the bullions are what you're going to want to stack. You're going to want to pick those up if you're stacking. But also, if you like the way these look, just pick one up. You can have it in a nice, beautiful display. It comes in a nice blue box. And also, if you're really into them and you really want to splurge, pick one up in a slab, have it graded. Those are even more expensive. I saw one on Silver Gold Bull that was close to $200 in the slab. So yeah, it's personal preference. If you want to pick one up, pick one up. But also there's a third type of coin. It's called Brilliant Uncirculated. It's just a bit higher than the bullion, not quite at the proof quality. Instead of being struck once like the bullion coin, it's struck twice, and it doesn't get machine polished. It does get hand polished, but not to the extent and to the degree that the proof one does. And the Brilliant Uncirculated coins, they don't have any frosting on them. And that process doesn't need to happen as well. So the cost of the Brilliant Uncirculated coins is going to be less than the proof. It's going to have a nice shine to it. It's going to have a nice finish. It's not going to be quite to the proof's quality, but it's going to be noticeably a higher quality than the bullion coin there. So yeah, getting back to whether it's worth picking up a proof coin, it's completely up to you. You know what I mean? If you like the look of them, you can splurge a little bit and pick up a nice proof coin with a case or in a slab. But you know, it's a pretty high price to stack them. I wouldn't be stacking a whole tube of the proof ones. I'd rather stick with the bullion. It is obviously way less expensive per coin, and you get a pretty reasonable return when you try to sell it. You know that you're going to be getting roughly the above spot price you're going to be getting, but with the proofs it might be different. They may not be looking to acquire many proof ones. It might not be high in demand, so it'll be sitting on their shelves for a bit longer than some of the bullion stuff. They might try and you know, they're not going to give you exactly what you paid for it, the exact amount of premium back. So you run the risk of, you know, taking a loss on the coin, especially with the amount of premium that there is to play with and the amount that you paid for. You know, you're running the risk of not getting that back. So if you want to just hold on to it as a collector's item, that's what I would do. And I would stick with the regular bullion coins to stack with. That makes more sense. But again, if you really like the proof coin, then go ahead and pick one up and have it as a collector item. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. If you just leave a like and subscribe on this video, that would be great. I enjoy talking with everyone in the community. As I said, the more videos I make, the more subscribers I get and the more contact I get with everybody. And it's really cool. Everyone's great. And I look forward to continue making these videos. So I hope you drop by for the next one.